connectors. These are not easily movable and should only be placed in position at the end of a linear shelf set. Shown here is the center divider. This divider slides laterally across the shelf rail and is the adjustable divider in the system. You can identify the center divider as it has wide rails on both sides. Shown here is the pusher assembly or product track. This is inserted onto the shelf rail between dividers and also travels laterally across the shelf rail. The elements that make up the pusher assembly are the main body or product track, the hinge door or clear front lens, the product pusher, which runs along the main body in the slot, and the metal spring. A rear inventory control clip can be used to shorten the travel rearward of the product pusher. This will allow fewer products to be placed on the track by stopping the pusher at the designated point. The clip easily inserts into square holes at predetermined locations on the main track. This is optional and available upon request. The rear bracket, which is shown here, is inserted and snapped into the back of the end divider. This bracket is inserted into the end divider to accept a plunger fastener to secure the end dividers to the rear dust holes on a shelf. The plunger fasteners are shown here. They are inserted into the front rail and rear brackets to secure the EZLoad shelf system. In cases where the divider depth does not reach back to the rear shelf holes, tape is provided to secure the back of the end divider to the shelf. EZLoad comes with an optional clear front stationary lens. This lens allows EZLoad the versatility of using our patented hinge door, a fixed front clear lens, or in some cases, both. Assembly is identical to the hinge door system. Setup. Start your shelf assembly by connecting the shelf rail with the front extrusion. The shelf rail connects into a small groove along the underside of the front extrusion. Be sure that the rear fin on the extrusion nests into the bottom slot on the shelf rail to marry components together. Place the front extrusion and connected shelf rail onto the shelf. Align the front extrusion flush to the front of the shelf. Locate the shelf holes through the rail slots, which coincide closest to the slot pattern on the shelf, and insert plunger fasteners to secure assembly to the shelf. Be certain to keep the rail straight and use the same row of holes. Using all visible holes, place a fastener in all 5 slot locations to assure security. If the hole alignment is difficult, try rotating the shelf rail so the slot position reverses. Always align shelf rail slot patterns the same during multiple shelf assemblies to assure shelf rails line up flushed from shelf to shelf. Insert a rear bracket into the end divider as shown. You will hear it snap into place. Starting from one end, place the end divider onto the shelf, securing it by inserting the front claw of the divider over the front of the shelf rail and pushing backwards, snapping over the shelf rail to secure. The end dividers will not move once snapped into position. Place a plunger fastener into the rear bracket as close to the left or right edge as possible to secure the back end of the divider in place. Fasteners should be fully seated and placed as close to the left or right edge of the slot as possible. This will secure the shelf rail and prevent it from sliding laterally. Refer to the planogram to determine approximately how many facings are in the 3-foot or 4-foot run you are about to assemble. Using the same front-to-back motion as the end dividers, insert the center dividers. Then, insert the product tracks in between the dividers using the same front-to-back motion. It helps to load all your center dividers first and then place product tracks between them next. Do not place as many product facings as the planogram requires. Add them as you finish loading. This will leave you space to work. You will know that the center dividers and product tracks are properly inserted onto the rail when they can freely slide with a ratcheting movement and remain secured to the rail. To properly set center dividers according to product width, start from one side and insert first item. Slide center divider over to allow enough width for product, plus some additional room, left to right, so product does not bind and track. Approximately 1/8 of an inch is suggested. After setting product position, push product back completely to assure proper performance before loading the rest of the product into the track. Product tracks can be loaded by pushing through the front hinge door for easy and convenient loading as you continue your setup. Make sure the hinge door on the product track is aligned with the center of the product. On wider products, a second product track is recommended for product stability. As you get towards the end of your product run, you may need to insert additional dividers and product tracks according to your planogram. Now you are ready to complete your shelf set. Insert a rear bracket into the end divider and snap it into position on the shelf rail. Insert plunger fastener to secure end divider, and then check that the end divider is securely fastened. Now add your last product track, insert remaining product, and make any final adjustments as you complete your planogram. Once you have installed the EZLoad shelf system and your planogram is complete, begin stocking shelves. Loading product. Product is easily loaded by pushing the clear lens rearward until the last item is inserted by sliding it down in between the lens and the product. Double-handed product loading can also be performed to cut down on time. Troubleshooting and changeovers. A change in your planogram can easily be accommodated by removing a product track and divider. Simply grab the back end and pull upward until it releases from the shelf rail. It is suggested that you hold down the shelf rail against the surface of the shelf when removing dividers and tracks. Rearrange product tracks by sliding left or right to realign dividers and tracks with the new product planogram. Be sure to check each product width for proper movement. Because the EZLoad shelf system ratchets left to right, removing the dividers and product tracks is not necessary for full adjustability. Unlike other systems, EZLoad's retrofitting is easy and fast. If shelf dividers are set too close together, products may become jammed. EZLoad's sliding system allows for incremental adjustability. Simply adjust each divider to pick up the slack left to right to allow enough space for the product track to work properly. If jamming occurs, check that the center dividers are not being used as end dividers. Check that end dividers are not being used in a product run, hampering lateral movement. End dividers might not be placed to the farthest shelf position to maximize space. And lastly, verify planogram accuracy.